A clean chain is the cheapest way of prolonging the life of expensive drivetrain parts, and probably one of the best value ways of making your bike faster. Well, here are 3 very grubby chains, and today I'm going to show you the good, the better, and the ultimate way to get them clean and ready to ride. We'll kick off with the good way to clean your bike chain, and this will get you 90% of the way there. Now, as you can see, my bike has been pretty well used, and you might be tempted when cleaning it just to do the big surface area bits. That will indeed make it look a lot cleaner, but really where you should focus your attention is the drive chain. Now, cleaning this can be the difference between your chain lasting 400k and 1500k. So that's going to have an impact on how long your chain rings last, how long your cassette lasts, even your jockey wheels. So by cleaning your chain, you can make all of these really expensive parts last longer. Now for this good method, I've got a rag, it's an old towel. I've got some WD-40, although you could use GT85 or any degreaser, and I've got a bottle of chain lube. For this method, you'll want to put your bike in either a stand like I have here, or pop it upside down. The first thing to do is then simply run the chain through a rag to get rid of any of the excess grease. Once you've done that, we're going to go over it more thoroughly. Now, I find it easiest to give the whole chain a spray with some degreaser and then make a pad with the rag before firmly rubbing the chain with it on the big chainring. A top tip is to make sure that you get right in between all the outer plates with your thumb. Otherwise, as soon as you start pedaling again, all the grime is going to work its way back out and you're going to be back to where you started. Now, the main aim when cleaning your drivetrain is to remove the dirt and grime from between any moving parts. And unfortunately, that also means that we're going to need to clean the cassette and the chain rings. To do this, we're going to use a bit more degreaser and rub the chain rings, paying particular attention to the teeth. And don't forget to clean both sides of however many chain rings you have. You might need to change front mech position to get better access. Then for the cassette, move the chain down into the smallest sprocket to give you good access, spray on the degreaser, being careful to keep it away from your brakes, and then use either a brush or rag to get rid of the grime. Now there is a more thorough way to clean your cassette, and we'll get onto that in a minute, but this is going to be better than nothing when time is against you. Finally, we're going to give the drivetrain a final rub over with a dry rag and then apply your favourite lube whilst turning the pedals, making sure that every link gets lubricated. Now there is of course much better ways to clean your chain, and to do that we're going to take the chain off using a quick link tool. So most chains have a quick link, and all what we're going to do is break that so that we can clean the chain even better. For this next method, I'm going to put my very grubby chain into an old water bottle. Now in here, I've got about 150 millilitres of degreaser, but you could use white spirit or anything else along those lines. Next, make sure the lid is properly on and then give it a good shake for about 30 seconds or so. And this will encourage the degreaser to penetrate in between all the links of the chain and drive out any debris. Next, remove the chain from the bottle using an old spoke or something like that and put the bottle to one side ready for next time. Maybe also add a warning to it not to drink from it. Place the chain and quick link onto a towel and wipe off the excess degreaser before using an old toothbrush to loosen any grime that is stubborn enough to still be present. Once again, we will have to clean the chain rings and cassette, and this is best done before refitting the chain. Now to clean the chain rings, we're just going to repeat the process as in the good method that we've all seen before, using a rag and degreaser to wipe off any dirt and grease. To clean the cassette more thoroughly though, I'm going to remove the back wheel from the bike. I'm then going to give it a good spray with this foaming degreaser, I think this one's from PT's, and then give it a good scrub with a stiff bristled brush. Once I've done that, I'm going to use the edge of an old towel to clean in between each sprocket by rubbing backwards and forwards, just like that. Before refitting the chain, give your jockey wheels some love too. If things have got really bad, then you can use a small screwdriver to remove the excess grease and then clean thoroughly with a rag and or toothbrush. Next, I'm going to refit the chain, noting its direction and being careful to thread it the right side of any pegs in the rear derailleur cage, because that makes a really annoying noise if you don't. Give the drivetrain one final rag down with a clean towel to remove the degreaser, and then lubricate each roller of the chain. Now this method will ensure proper lubrication
without excess lube that will attract dirt. I particularly like this smooth wax-based lube.
Now, for this final rather filthy chain, I have something rather special in store, because this is how I like to treat my chains before race day or before a long period of dry weather when I know that the chain's gonna not get ruined on the first wet ride. So what we're gonna need is this bad boy. This is an ultrasonic cleaner, and it's gonna make my chain more sparkly than anything you've ever seen.
An ultrasonic cleaner uses sound waves to agitate a fluid, in this case degreaser, to remove any contaminants from my chain. So I'm just going to turn it on, let it warm up, and then pop my chain into this basket. Make sure it's completely submerged, and it really is that easy. Okay, so that's 15 minutes up. I can now remove the chain, shake off any excess degreaser, and I'm going to pop it onto a towel. An ultrasonic cleaner really does do a thorough job of cleaning, but I'm just going to wipe it down as I use some quite well used degreaser. Next, I'm going to use some alcohol to wipe the chain clean. Now I'm doing this because degreaser and lube or wax don't really get on all too well. And for maximum durability, I want the lube to stick to the chain as well as possible. So as I just alluded to, this chain is going to be getting the waxing treatment, just like Ganna's hour record beating bike. Waxing is the gold standard of chain lubrication, really, because it gets into every nook and cranny, and it's durable. It can help make your chain quieter, and lots of pros do it because most studies show that it's also the fastest. That's 3 from 3. In here is Silka's hot melt wax that I've put into an old takeaway tray just because I find it easier to get the chain fully submerged. Right, I'm going to put the chain in, once again making sure it's completely submerged, and then agitate it with an old spoke so that the wax gets into all the links. I'm then going to pull it out and hang it on a hook to dry. The next step is to go around and break all the wax seal on the links. Just like with lube, it's not the wax on the outside that is important. Now, before putting this back on the bike, I'm once again going to clean my chain rings, the cassette and the jockey wheels. And you could take the cassette off, and jockey wheels for that matter, and also put them in the ultrasonic bath if it's big enough. Or you can just go at them with a toothbrush again. All what's left to do then is pop the chain back on the bike, and bingo, you've just saved yourself not only a handful of watts, but hopefully some money as well.
Leave us any of your chain cleaning tips down in the comment section below, as well as which one of these 3 methods you're most likely to use. If you like this kind of content, then please give us a like, subscribe to the channel for lots more bike advice and tips, and we'll see you next time.